Bruce sees all.
Hello and welcome to the Bruce Sees All YouTube research channel. This is where I do a lot of real research. I showed you in the last video, all 17 of you, that the sun can be seen very well when there's a cloud cover around it. Do you see that the cloud seems to be like behind the sun? Just mentioning that, right? As we zoom in here to go get that beautiful asteroid or meteor going by. Lots of explanation on exactly how I do the research in this video. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. That's not a bird. Too fast to be a bird. Straight trajectory as we zoom out into space. You see there's two things that flew by. One object going from right to left, which is the only one in 1 hour I saw. You don't see birds like that, duh. What's the other object flying upwards? Well, it's pollen-ish stuff close to the camera. You can tell. Watch it go by here, and you saw it go upwards like a see-through object, but this one here going by is solid. It's going fast. I'd love for you to show me a bird that far away that crosses the screen in less than a minute. Waited 2 hours to see that object go by. Often people might think that they're birds, but I'm not worried about that because in reality I've proven the opposite. It's not a bird. I've taken the time to explain it to you. Nobody wants to take the time to go out with their cameras and see if, oh yeah, duh, it's true. Birds don't fly by like at the speed of light. I didn't know that. We all know that. Here's another nice dimmer view here as it's going by. Let's get a close-up. You know why you always see an object flying by the sun or the moon? Because the illumination of both of those celestial objects are showing us the objects in the background. When they pass by and they're big enough, as big as Earth, we could have some debris, we could have a whole slew of different objects. But look, it's real. How hard do you think this was for me to capture an object hitting the moon if I didn't know what time it was supposed to hit the moon? Maybe nobody knew anything was going to hit the moon. Whether they did or not, I filmed the edge of the celestial object. You'll get the light coming from the planet or celestial object that will expose anything flying by or in the vicinity of it to be able to capture these objects. And I think it's important to be able to share the research that way, to show everyone I'm legitimately, easily being able to differentiate flies and debris and UFOs, asteroids and meteors. Will anyone think this is an elongated fly? Maybe a fly going really fast? No, don't even think of it, guys, especially not zoomed out. This is the infrared camera. There's more objects going by. You can see debris. The Pentagon, NASA, all scientists, everyone that's working in the sky related to UFOs or debris around the world say that it's completely filled with debris of all sizes. Let's head over to the moon. There are many objects that are built on the surface of the moon that are easy to prove that they're built. Any geologist or archaeologist would see this and say it's definitely, absolutely nothing natural, especially not high-rising objects like this object that looks not. Look over to the left, there's a doll head there. Why do I say doll head? Because it's what it looks like. Obviously, they didn't build a doll head up there, but look. Some objects that don't look natural, that actually look like they were formed, many straight lines. And you'll see as we're going along here, right beside the tower of this constructed object. Do you guys see the UFO on top? Did you see it? Let's see it one more time. Look on the right in the brackets. There's a UFO inside of a slit there, some type of garage, literally. You can see it. It's not a crater that's inside of a rectangular hole at the end of this straight line, all constructed, and they build it so that it blends in with the craters. It's really intriguing. So when you look at this surface, you see a blinding light, but if you have a good eye, you can see some things sticking out, like, I mean, ridiculously sticking out, guys. The same reflectivity as the surface gives them the possibility of hiding all the structures that are on the surface. If that's not a bridge or some type of base or community, you could see all the objects and mysterious objects. Some of them even look like they're floating up top here, higher up. It looks like some objects are off of the surface is because there's some type of manipulation, for sure, that was done with the surface. If I turn the image right around, in the Southern Highlands, we're not going to hide it either, where Clavius crater is often seen. You see the most craters and all these beautiful objects. And of course, we're able to show it without a filter. Look how that straight line sticks out like a sore thumb. But some of you just don't want to see it because it's the same reflectivity, and you say, we would see maybe mailboxes and roads and stuff. We have no idea how they're getting around the surface. They could be getting around, I don't think in the moon. I think their transportation is on the surface and just too small to see. And those of you emailing me that told me you bought cameras and that all you see is bugs and debris flying around, stop filming debris. Like, if you're out filming a UFO, what are you doing out filming that shit? Because a lot of you pass that off as UFOs. Some of you with channels try to pass that off as UFOs. Let's bring down the exposure, and keep looking at the same image. There. Now, anything that's excessively bright after descending the exposure will know it's something out there, right? You got to learn how to use the infrared cameras. I share exactly how I do this research. I'm doing this to differentiate the differences between debris and real asteroids and meteors and UFOs. It's so easy to see the difference. Do the test yourself with your own infrared camera. You will not see this more than 2 or 3 days a year. This happens when the pollen is really excessive and it's flying around and you get some wind, but it only lasts for a couple of days. After that, the insects and everything else that's in the sky, don't worry about it and focus on the stars and adjust your exposure. If I can see the bridges and lines or bridges, whatever you want to call them, that look constructed, you see them too. Unless you're on the phone, of course. Mare Crisium, we're talking 556 kilometers, which is 345 miles in diameter. Also 176,000 square kilometers, 68,000 square miles. It has a very flat floor, they say. Try not to laugh because there's no parts of the moon that is flat. But it sure does look flat when NASA pictures it, right? If I'm filming bridges and lines, NASA should be too. I tell you, NASA's making me look like a pro. Look at those lines going across. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see them really well. And it goes all the way up into Mare Crisium. A whole bunch of high elevated objects that are sticking out of the mare, in all mares. Mare Tranquillitatis towards the bottom. Mare Imbrium, where they landed in the blue, and over to the right, Mare Fecunditatis, and that big spot Endymion crater you can see over top quite well with this 14-inch Celestron telescope, CGXL. There's Endymion crater right there. That's the big crater that's just over top of the mare. Also has so many lines and high elevated objects coming out of Endymion, but the problem is, as I always say, the surface has the same reflectivity as all the objects. It's not impossible, it's not that hard to see if you take the time to look, but most don't. Ladies and gents, thanks so much, everyone. See you in the comment section. Thanks for being here. Everyone, thanks for the generous contributions, and thanks for watching the videos.
Aliens up there on the moon. They may be even coming right here soon. Aliens are mining on the moon. Yes, they are up there. doesn't matter 'cause disclosure's coming soon.